What's your name? And
My name is Roland Dane.
Yeah.
I was in the 7th Battalion, the Black Watch. And I came through down from Holland at the time to Liège. And that is where we first got the introduction to the buzz bombs. And it was funny, really, because the buzz bomb, the house we were in, the dog got up and went down the cellar. And then the people got up and went down the cellar. And we didn't know why.
Perhaps you're going to stand a little further.
And why they went down. And then we heard the buzz bomb coming over and drop. Luckily, didn't stay there long. But next time, we nearly beat the people down through the dog move. But anyway, we came down. But on the way down, they forgot to give us a password. So we were stopped by the Americans. And there were two of us, my mate and myself. My mate, he came from Aberdeen, and he spoke britannique, which is Aberdonian. And
How do you understand them?
Yeah, how he understood the Americans understood him, I'll never know. But what happened to me, I was sat in the carrier, and the brain American with a gun about that far from my head. But when he came out, we were sent on our way. But I didn't get a Christmas. It was Christmas Day when we sent down, and I never got the Christmas dinner. I never did. But anyway, we were carried on, and because I was, I should say, I guess, I was an ammunition carrier, company carrier.
Oh, yeah.
What they call a company carrier, and I used to carry the ammunition from one company, and my company was A company, and my job was to follow behind the company.
Yeah.
If they wanted ammunition, I got called forward. They gave it. And my carrier was full of explosives, so she had to hit me. But didn't want me then.
Yeah. And at which cities did you went? So you were behind the army?
Behind my company.
Mm-hmm.
If A company was in the lead, I followed. If they were behind, I still followed. Wherever they were, I followed them. So I never knew where I was half the time. But I did. We came down into Lodge. And my biggest worry, it was true, was sliding on the ice. I couldn't go in the hills. And you were all over the place. And that was my dread. But my feet froze. And what I used to have to do, I used to put it in first gear, jump out the carrier.
It was a lorry, a big lorry.
No, it was just a little tiny track vehicle.
Oh.
And I should jump out of the carrier, and I could steer it by hand, by moving it like the track. It was
so you could walk, in fact.
I could walk, but I'd run beside it, actually, to keep my feet warm.
Yeah.
And I'd run beside it, and you could steer it by hand like that. If it went started to go down a hill, you jump back on again. But once it started going down a hill, you couldn't control it. It went where it wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all the tanks. But that's how I spent my trying to get with the cold and the snow, and that was my biggest thought.
Yeah.
But we followed and we came in to Lodge. But we went to Yves, went there. Our company went straight up through Lodge. So I didn't stop actually in Lodge. I just went straight through it by the rubble. And we went to Yves. But another worry was on the road to Yves, there's a sheer drop. Mm-hmm. And steep thing. And you could have gone off the road and straight down there.
Yeah.
But that was my worry all the time. And
were there times you were afraid?
Well, not really. I was. Sometimes, when you got too near the front and they started throwing shells at you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had shells thrown at me.
Oh, yeah.
And not especially on the corners. You have to wait. You have to wait on the corner.
Yeah.
And
before everything was clear?
Yeah, before you could call up. It all depends. I mean, there might be still a battle on. but you'd have to go forward. But no, 9 times out of 10, I never had to.
And how many times did he came back to here?
This is the time my first time back to the road.
And what is
in 70 years.
Yeah.
But I have been through it, but I didn't really recognise it.
Yeah, I can imagine. You just drive through it.
Yeah, I didn't drive. I was in a coach going to Italy,
yeah.
and they came through. And I didn't recognise it, and it wasn't until I came back that you cannot recognise. You cannot remember.
I can
remember
everything was completely
and different. But from here, when we moved out back to Holland. We stopped at a place called Boyscott, I think, Boyscott or something, on the railway line. I still haven't found it yet. Again, I had no idea where it is. But we stopped on there, and we stayed in a house right by the railway crossing. I don't know what it was, but there was a woman there. We had a photograph. What's the name got taken? You taken a copy of it. And it was January 11th, I think, 1944 or 45 when we stopped there. And I couldn't have invited down the village, and I couldn't go. I just wanted to sleep. But we managed it. Anyway.
Okay, thank you for your time. I'm now going to take a picture.
Yeah, you finished that? To my daughter.
Yeah, perfect. So, your name is?